If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The NFL world woke up to absolute shockwaves this morning after the Cleveland Browns officially confirmed what had been swirling in rumor circles for weeks. Tua Tagovailoa will be the new starting quarterback for the franchise. Yes, you heard that right. The same Tua who spent his entire career under the tropical skies of Miami is now heading to the cold, gritty, blue-collar heart of Cleveland. It's one of those moves that nobody truly believed until it became official, the kind that sends ripples through locker rooms and talk shows alike. The Browns, a team often defined by their endless quarterback carousel, seem to have decided that this time, they're going all in with a proven, playoff-tested name. The organization announced the decision early this morning through a brief statement, but fans and insiders are already reading between the lines, trying to piece together how and why this deal happened so suddenly. After all, no one expected the Browns to move away from Deshaun Watson so soon, but it looks like the front office saw something they couldn't ignore. Now, Cleveland has turned the page, and the new chapter has a name: Tua Tagovailoa. If you think this was just another off-season adjustment, think again, because this announcement didn't come out of nowhere. Rumors had been bubbling quietly for weeks, with whispers that the Browns' coaching staff had grown increasingly concerned about Watson's lingering injuries and inconsistency. Behind closed doors, sources claimed that team executives had already been exploring alternative directions at quarterback, and Tua's situation in Miami seemed to open a small window of opportunity. Reports suggest that contract talks between Tua and the Dolphins had hit a rough patch, mainly over long-term guarantees and offensive direction. Cleveland, with its powerful running game and tough defense, saw a potential fit: a quarterback who could distribute the ball quickly, play efficiently, and thrive under pressure. The move also fits head coach Kevin Stefanski's offensive philosophy, which emphasizes timing, rhythm, and high-percentage throws. While some fans are thrilled at the idea of adding Tua's accuracy and composure, others are questioning whether he can handle the physical toll of playing in the AFC North, where brutal hits and harsh weather are part of every Sunday. From the Browns' perspective, this might be their boldest move since drafting Baker Mayfield back in 2018. The difference now is that Cleveland isn't betting on a rookie. They're trusting a quarterback with playoff experience and one of the highest completion percentages in recent seasons. Insiders close to the team are saying that this decision wasn't impulsive. It was strategic, the culmination of months of quiet evaluation. Apparently, Browns scouts and analysts had been reviewing every Tua performance, looking beyond the numbers to his leadership, his locker room presence, and his poise in big moments. What they saw convinced them that this was the man who could finally stabilize a position that's haunted the franchise for decades. It's easy to forget that Tua, despite facing criticism over durability, has shown elite accuracy, decision-making, and resilience, qualities that the Browns desperately need. In a division stacked with stars like Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, this could be the Browns' counterpunch, a chance to finally redefine their offensive identity around precision instead of chaos. For Tua himself, this move represents both risk and rebirth. After years of dealing with constant speculation about his future in Miami, this transfer to Cleveland could be the fresh start he's been searching for. He's stepping into a locker room filled with talented players who are hungry to win now, not later. The Browns' offensive unit, built around Nick Chubb's power runs and Amari Cooper's reliable hands, could be the perfect setup for Tua's quick-release passing game. However, the transition won't be easy, not just because of the playbook, but because of the expectations. The Cleveland fan base has endured decades of heartbreak, and patience isn't exactly their strongest virtue. If Tua doesn't deliver early, the pressure could mount fast. Yet, people close to him describe Tua as laser-focused, determined to prove that he can thrive outside of Miami's comfort zone. For him, this isn't just about football, it's about legacy. Meanwhile, the Dolphins camp seems eerily quiet. Officially, they're saying all the right things, thanking Tua for his service, praising his professionalism, and expressing confidence in the team's future direction. But behind the scenes, insiders suggest that Miami had been preparing for this break for some time. The relationship between Tua and the front office reportedly grew tense over the summer, with disagreements about play calling and long-term vision. When negotiations for a contract extension stalled, The writing was on the wall. Miami, in classic business fashion, saw an opportunity to reset. Cleveland, eager for a spark, made the call. And just like that, the NFL landscape shifted overnight. Fans are still processing it. Analysts are scrambling for answers. And even players across the league are reacting on social media, many expressing shock, others offering support. The move also raises some fascinating football questions. How will Tua adapt to Cleveland's offensive system, which relies heavily on play action and cold-weather precision? Can he maintain his rhythm and confidence when the winds off Lake Erie start cutting through the stadium in December? And perhaps the biggest question of all, what does this mean for Deshaun Watson's future? Early reports suggest Watson could be traded or released, but nothing is official yet. Either way, this marks a dramatic shift in how the Browns view their future. They're betting on accuracy over arm strength, intelligence over improvisation, and calm leadership over volatility. For a franchise that's long been searching for stability, Tua's arrival could either be the dawn of something special or just another name on the long list of Cleveland quarterbacks who couldn't make it work. Only time will tell, but for now, the city is buzzing. In the hours following the announcement, the city of Cleveland transformed into a football carnival. Radio stations couldn't stop looping the headline. Fans flooded social media with mixed emotions, and sports bars filled with chatter about what this move means for the team's future. On one side, you've got the believers, the ones who see Tua as a beacon of hope, a quarterback with precision and humility who could finally bring some consistency to the franchise. On the other, skeptics are already warning that Cleveland might have just swapped one uncertainty for another. They point to Tua's injury history and question whether he'll survive the pounding he'll face in a division known for hard-hitting defenses. But in typical Cleveland fashion, hope and doubt are dancing together, creating that intoxicating energy that only football can generate. The Browns have taken a gamble, but maybe that's exactly what they needed. A bold move that screams ambition instead of fear. As reporters began to dig deeper into how this deal actually materialized, a fascinating narrative began to unfold. Sources close to the Browns' front office say this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. In fact, discussions with Tua's representatives had been happening quietly for nearly a month. The Browns, apparently, had been monitoring his contract situation with Miami and reached out the moment talks started to sour. Tua, who had grown frustrated with the Dolphins' lack of clarity about their offensive direction, was reportedly open to a new challenge. Cleveland's pitch was simple but powerful. Come lead a team built to win now, with one of the league's best defenses and a fanbase starving for success. It wasn't just about money, it was about belief. Tua wanted to feel wanted again, and Cleveland gave him that. When the two sides met last week in a private session in Los Angeles, insiders say the chemistry was instant. Within days, a deal was struck. What makes this story even more intriguing is how it changes the balance of power in the AFC. The Browns, often dismissed as underdogs, now have a quarterback who brings a completely different dynamic to the offense. Tua's accuracy and quick release could pair beautifully with Cleveland's play-action-heavy system, especially when defenses are forced to respect the run. Suddenly, this team isn't just dangerous, it's unpredictable. Defensive coordinators who were used to preparing for Watson's improvisation will now have to adjust to a more methodical, rhythmic style of play. It's a shift that could catch opponents off guard. Meanwhile, Tua's ability to lead calm, efficient drives might be exactly what this team has been missing during tense, late-game moments. The AFC North is brutal, no doubt. But if anyone knows how to play through adversity, it's Tua. He's been questioned his entire career, and every time people doubted him, he found a way to respond. Inside the Browns' locker room, reactions are reportedly positive. Veteran players like Amari Cooper and Myles Garrett have already spoken publicly, welcoming Tua and praising his leadership qualities. Cooper, in particular, mentioned that he's excited to work with one of the most accurate passers in football. Garrett, never shy about speaking his mind, said this move shows the organization's commitment to winning right now. That kind of endorsement matters because this is a team that's often been fractured by inconsistent leadership and questionable decision-making. Bringing in someone like Tua, calm, composed, team-oriented, could help solidify the culture. Insiders have described him as a unifier, someone who brings quiet confidence rather than ego. For Cleveland, That might be exactly what's been missing. Whether it translates to wins, however, remains the ultimate question, because nothing in this city comes easy. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Back in Miami, the aftermath feels bittersweet. Dolphins fans are divided, some heartbroken, others relieved. Many still see Tua as a symbol of what could have been, a talented, likable leader who never quite got the full support he deserved. Others argue that the Dolphins needed to reset, that it was time to build something new. But no matter how you slice it, this trade marks the end of an era. For the Browns, it's a new dawn. For the Dolphins, it's a leap into uncertainty. NFL insiders are already calling this one of the most surprising quarterback moves of the decade. Not because it was unthinkable, but because it signals a clear shift in how teams are approaching the position. Less about flash, more about fit. Tua's journey from Hawaii to Alabama to Miami and now Cleveland reads like a football odyssey, a story still being written, with every chapter more unpredictable than the last. As the dust settles, one thing is certain. All eyes will be on Cleveland when the new season kicks off. The pressure is massive, but so is the opportunity. If Tua can stay healthy and adapt to the Browns system, this could go down as one of the smartest trades in franchise history. If not, it'll be remembered as another bold gamble that failed to pay off. But for now, optimism reigns. The city is buzzing, the fans are hopeful, and even the skeptics admit the storylines are irresistible. The Browns haven't just added a quarterback, they've added drama, intrigue, and possibility. And that's what makes football magical. Whether Tua Tagovailoa becomes Cleveland's savior or just another chapter in their long, chaotic quarterback saga, one thing's for sure. This move has already changed everything. With Kevin Stefanski's resignation now the dominant storyline in the NFL, fans, analysts, and insiders are left navigating a complex web of rumors, speculation, and uncertainty that extends far beyond the immediate impact on the Cleveland Browns. Every announcement, leak, and insider tip is dissected with precision, fueling a constant dialogue about leadership, ambition, and the unpredictable nature of sports. Conversations span everything from potential successors to internal conflicts, roster implications, and long-term organizational strategy, reflecting how one unexpected decision can reverberate across a league where stability is prized yet rarely guaranteed. The narrative has become a fusion of admiration for Stefanski's accomplishments, curiosity about his motivations, and anticipation of the Browns' next moves, keeping fans, media, and analysts glued to every update, every whisper, and every hint of insight. As the NFL community grapples with the implications of this sudden departure, the story continues to evolve, blending factual reporting with rumor, speculation, and passionate debate, demonstrating the powerful intersection of human ambition, organizational dynamics, and the unpredictable drama of professional sports. In the end, Stefanski's resignation is not merely an isolated event, but a catalyst for reflection, conversation, and intrigue, shaping discourse in the NFL for months to come. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!